can't take another L. Designer on me, this they new Chanel. Did they split?
Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we're at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an NFC wildcard matchup between the New York Giants and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Set to kick off.
It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Throwing on first down. Ferrara. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
He's brought down at the
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Ferrara. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Nobody ever wants the interception on the opening drive to happen, but when it happens in the playoffs, it feels like it's a bigger deal. What a rough start.
And how about these visitors? The defense just went right on the field and seized momentum. You know, almost like they're saying, okay, no one expects us to win this one. Let's go ahead and give them a shock early. Took the ball from the home team and put them in the hole.
Because this crowd, one of the best in the league, especially this time of year, it's going to be tough to take them out of it, but that's a heck of a start. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Giants.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing, Jones. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Jones pass.
Give him 30 yards there.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half. You bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position, When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On second down, Eckler. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards there and a first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Ball carrier.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Right there, 54, right there, right there.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The former number 6 overall pick got the sack that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack. And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
This is fielded at the 7. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. And it brings up 3rd down.
From the gun, Jones. Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Right there. 50.
Now Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Giants 3, Buccaneers nothing.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Got an open man, it's Ratley. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space.
And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. 'The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Leonard Floyd. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
3rd down.
Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
56, the mark, boys, 56.
Operating from the gun, Ferrara. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
He's tackled.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Jones now from the gun on third down. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
The pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 9-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Draw play, it's Eckler. And this is going to be a Bucs first down as the tackle made here at the 36.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Looking to throw. Jones flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, Make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now the Bucks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This is a big play in this wild card matchup, facing 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a decent gain on the ground. Call it 6, but it still leaves him with a ways to go on 4th and goal. The Bucks going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
24-yard attempt.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
On 1st and 10, Ferrara airing this one out for Evans. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
To throw again, Ferrara. Again for Evans. This time he's got him. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Bucks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, Ferrara. He'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Come on. 56, Mike.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Ferrara. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Ferrara. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jones. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
The ball carrier.
Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 29 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ferrara looking for his running back, and he's got him. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Ferrara. And that is incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Taking it about the 16. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off play action, Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So one first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
11-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 11 yards there, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, that was dangerous. And threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
To throw again, Ferrara. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
First and 10.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Check pass.
From the gun, Ferrara. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been any. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Off the play fake. Jones. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 57 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Back now in Tampa. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Jones on 1st and 10. He'll get this one to Galladay.
Jones.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the Bucs' 10-yard line.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
At the 26-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Ferrara. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Makes it third.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Ferrara. The man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 53 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Operating from the gun, Ferrara. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game.
Buccaneers
8. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
Touchdown.
Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here this wild card round. Nothing has gone right. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Leonard Floyd able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
On 4th down, Ferrara. And this is caught. It's pulled in by Gronkowski. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now a desperation throw, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
Down at the 28.
From the gun, Ferrara. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
You got blocked, man. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Oh, you get on the head. Oh, you get on the head. Set.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Me and you all day, all day. I'm coming after you.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Check, 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 check. 54 mark, 54 mark. Check, check, block 54, block 54.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA.